We are here at the University of Maryland's Michael Antonov Auditorium at the Brendan Arebe Center for Computer Science and Engineering. The University of Maryland is the home of many well-known gaming alumni, including the CEO and founder of Epic Games and inventor of Unreal Engine, Tim Sweeney, and two of the Oculus VR founders, Brendan Arebe and Michael Antonov. In 2015, two students, Galen Stetsuk and Mike Sorokin, set out to solve the biggest problems facing the VR industry. That work led to the founding of MPlex, a team of some of Maryland's brightest, to begin work on core disruption. And now it's here. Experience the next evolutionary step in virtual reality gaming. Core disruption is tactical, visceral, accessible, and uncompromising. If you've been holding off on VR, Core Disruption is the experience you've been waiting for.
Welcome to the University of Maryland here in College Park, Maryland for the world premiere tournament of Core Disruption. Thank you for joining us here today. My name is John Fiasco Byram alongside Joey Courtside King McDermott of OTN Media, and we are proud and honored to be here today with you for today's brand new premiere of Core Disruption. Joey, this journey started over a year ago where competitors came together to battle out. We are down to the final 8 teams here today.
Absolutely, John. Excited to show off the game today to make its global debut here for Core Disruption. We have a number of teams competing today, 8 teams in total, John, and we're getting excited to announce them soon.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and throw it down to the floor for the introduction of today's teams. We'll start out with the lower bracket, the lower seed teams here as we cut down here. So on the number 8 seed, the Terrorpins.
Coming in with that nice orange and yellow color scheme. Beautiful logo as well. You'll see on the back of the jerseys here.
And after the Terrapins, the number 7 seed, Savage Academy. Now it's time to introduce the number 6 seed, Thonk. Joey, the number 5 team is all about the money. It's introducing Team Trap Money. Now introducing the number 4 seed, Panate Goblins. Now the number 3 seed, Garfelf. Cat ears, who does not love to see that? The number 2 seed, the Shadow Assassins. And introducing the top seed for today's world premiere tournament. Contrary to their name, they're number 1 for a reason, Morons Cubed. Showing love to everyone here live at the University of Maryland for today's live event. Joey, a lot of things to go over before today's event even starts. First off is going to be the rules for today's competition. So we'll quickly go over the rules for today's 3v3 single elimination tournament, Joey.
Yeah, absolutely. Matches are going to be played out a best of 2-3 rounds. Best of 2 out of 3 rounds, rather. On top of that, John, not too many rules out there. The main thing is just making sure you don't block opponents into corners or run into their vehicle over and over. While that can be used strategically, at some time it can become griefing, so we're going to stay away from that today.
All right. Of course, like any great esport here, there's a great prize pool as well. The first place winner is going to be going home with $2,000 Second place has $900, and third place will walk away with a cool $300. Joey, quite a fantastic prize pool here to start out for the world premiere tournament here of Core Disruption. Let's go ahead now and take a look at the vehicles the players will be able to use here today in this tank VR game, Core Disruption. We'll take a look at the tank types now.
Absolutely. So today we have the Scorpion tank available for play as well as the Talon, both coming in as hover tanks, so they're going to be a bit faster as well as a little bit weaker on the armor side compared to a treaded tank. You see the Talon on screen now, as well as a few of the other tanks available in the full build of the game.
So we only have a few tanks available here today, but don't worry, there are more takes on the way coming to Core Disruption. But now, Joey, let's talk a little bit about the weapons that we'll be seeing here today as well.
Absolutely. You see them listed here on screen. The only one disabled for today is going to be the flat cannon. You have an auto cannon that functions sort of like a machine gun, the heavy bolter, the auto bolter, and then you have 4 lasers available as well, the 60, 80, 82, and 90.
All right, so the name of the game is Core Disruption. At the end of the day, that's what you want to do to your opponent is you want to disrupt their core, that centerpiece in the tank. But unable to get to put damage on that center core, you have to get through some plating on the tank. And based upon the tank, they have different damage values all the way around.
Absolutely. You see it here, guys. You have the front left, and the front right, as well as the turret itself, then the back plating too. So when you guys have played tanks games before. You have to break through the armor to eventually take it out. This one in particular, very unique because it does have that core, and getting to that core is the main focus of the game here.
All right, and we are just moments away from our very first matchup here today. The players are still getting set up, so we're going to toss it to a very quick break. On the other side, match number 1 here at the world premiere event of Core Disruption, live from the University of Maryland. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to the University of Maryland here in College Park. Match number 1 ready to go. It's number 8 seed Terrapins going up against top seed Morons Cubed. We have both teams making their way out of their hangars. Joey, let's go and take a look real quick about what we're seeing here tank-wise and weapon-wise. It looks like we're having tanks all matched here. It's all Scorpions across the board.
Yeah, it does look like it is a full match, but the big difference here being the weapons, John. Morons Cube, the number 1 seed, going full lasers all throughout on this one.
We see both teams pretty much staying together, but Origami's taking a lot of damage here early on. Look at those panels and weapons lit up already in the yellow. That is damage just being torn apart onto Origami Boy on his Scorpion 4 Terrapins. It's all about positioning here right now. You can see there's a lot of players. Origami Boy has that damage. They are focusing on him as well. We're seeing on Morons Cubed as well. Derpy taking some damage too, but not as bad as Origami.
And that core is being shown, John, and it looks like it is going to pop. Origami is down for the Terrapins.
Origami, the first one down, is now a 3v2. You see those health meters. Those are the health meters for the core for each of these tanks as well. Derpy taking a lot of damage too, down to 64 on that core. Might be the next one to go as Terrapins are looking to even this one up at 2 apiece. Morons Cube still with that advantage, having all 3 players up. Derpy taking a lot of damage, trying to give it back to Shy Clone. Clone's taking some damage. Pyro taking damage as well. Derpy is so close to being disrupted. Down to 12 left, and he is down. It is all even at 2 apiece, but Pyro quickly dropping as well. Moron Cube's trying to bring the damage, and Pyro just 5 health points away, and he will drop. Advantage for Morons Cubes now to 2v1.
Yeah, great initial play there from Pyro, coming around the side, getting the flank to take out Derpy, but then in the end, pushing forward a little too far, gets pinched between Brandon and Creep.
Shy Clone in trouble, trying to make something happen here. Last man standing, but the damage from Moron Cubes starting to make its way through those plates, down to 59 health left on the core, and it is dropping rapidly as Shy Clone won't be able to stand much longer, just down to 3, 1 hit away, and he will fall. Round 1 goes to Morons Cubed.
Yeah, that's big there, John. Those lasers just laying down the damage. You saw them so close there, unfortunately not able to put down that final damage because of the heat on that laser. It does take a little bit of time to recharge, but in the end, able to get it down and get it off.
That was absolutely great positioning there from Morons Cubed. I mean, when the damage really started coming out there, they were taking it to the Terrapins. They really had no way to kind of respond to how that damage was coming out. They stuck together too much, and that damage just started to build up really quickly. And once that first player falls, it's really hard to get back into the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like the flank that came out, but again, the overcommit coming out there as well. Had that overcommit not come out, this could have gone the other way, but Morons Cubed with the full-on 9 laser strategy ending out with the win.
Now, give credit where credit's due. After Terrapins lost their first player, they were able to bounce back and even it up pretty quickly on 2v2 here. But in the end, Morons Cube, they're the number 1 seed for a reason here, Joey, and they showed the reason why right now going up against the Terrapins. They didn't let that hammer them down. They 2v2'd all the way to the end.
Yeah, and you saw great rotations from them as well with the whole plating. Once you have a side of plating down, you want to rotate and give the other team the other side to hit, the side that has full armor still on the board. They were able to do that really well until that flank came through. That flank obviously taking the advantage.
Absolutely, and it is all about positioning too, using those obstacles to your advantage, trying to delay that damage as much as possible. We saw early on for Terrapins, they took way too much damage straight out of the gate. Both teams found each other fairly quickly. Sometimes you kind of go around in circles a little bit trying to find where the other team is, but they found each other pretty quick, and as soon as they got there, the damage started going in one direction. That was the direction towards the Terrapins, and really from the get-go, it was an uphill battle for them.
Yeah, and part of that comes down to the full hover tank play here as well, with both teams going full Scorpions, hover tanks being the tanks available for today. There's a lot quicker base movement there, less plating as well, but trading off for that movement, you're able to move around very quickly. As we saw in this match, they did find each other pretty quickly and started laying down that damage as well.
And of course, Joey, today's matches are all going to be taking place on the Amphitheater map. They do have more maps in development for when the game is fully released here, but today we're going to get to see Amphitheater. Joey, we've had the honor of kind of see a little sneak peek behind the scenes of some of the maps that are coming up. It looks absolutely beautiful. Super excited to see when those maps do go live. But Amphitheater, Joey, has gone through quite a bit of changes since the initial go-through when this tournament started. We saw this map essentially get almost overhauled from a year ago to today to what it is, and we're seeing those changes, especially with those hiding places, those hiding changes really come into effect here.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting a lot closer, too. There used to be a lot more obstructions toward the middle of the map. Now you can kind of see the opposing team a little bit earlier, and that's probably why we ended up with such much quicker action in this rerun.
Absolutely, and it is a best-of-3 round one going in favors of Morons Cubed, which you can see on camera right now. They are getting ready for game number 2 in this best-of-3. They do have to reset that lobby and get back in there for round number 2, but Morons Cubed in great position to advance to the Final Four. Joey, let's talk a little bit about our matchups that are coming up a little bit later as well. The next match is going to be our number 4 seed and number 5 seed. That is going to be Benakes, and that is also going to be, I'm going to cheat here real quick, that is going to be Team Trap Money as well.
Absolutely. A number of great matchups on the slate for today. We're getting ready to load into the next one of this set, though, John. Morons Cube going full lasers once again.
Full lasers and scorpions across the board as well. We'll keep an eye on that to see if that's a running theme that we've seen. These teams have had time to practice throughout the past year as these changes and updates and patches have come out for Core Disruption. So they are familiar with the current build of this game. So maybe they're on to something. Maybe we're starting to see this meta start to develop right before our eyes.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the Terrorpins, some changes coming out for them as well, adding more lasers to their arsenal, seeing the damage that they did in Game 1.
We're heading into the map, into the amphitheater for round 2. Both teams coming out of their hangars. Terrapins didn't take long before the damage started heading in their direction from Morons Cube. We'll see if they take a little bit slower approach here. As both teams are looking for each other, they are heading towards each other right now. You can see right there through that small gap, they're able to identify that that's where they are. And the first shot's on the way, and Morons Cube taking damage first. The Terrapins striking first here, putting the damage down. Kind of a flip the script moment here in game number 2 as the damage now flowing both ways. Both teams, well, as I was about to say it, we're staying pretty close together, but now we're seeing Morons Cube looking for that 2-man flank coming around the side. It's Brandon and Derpy coming around, and the Terrapins finally seeing they're trying to rotate as well. They're staying together pretty quickly. All three grouped together. A lot of damage coming down. Derpy now with that front right panel fully exposed. The Terrapins looking to cause damage first. Derpy down to 60% left on his health. The damage quickly going down. The Terrapins are trying to even this one up at 1 apiece.
Absolutely, Derpy's core exposed down below 50%, but Pyro Shock also taking some big damage for Terrapins.
And the first player goes down. It's Derpy for Morons Cube. It's a 3v2, but Pyro's not going to last much longer. He will fall as well. It's back to 2v2. But the Terrapins coming out with some vengeance here in game number 2, looking to even this series. The damage still in favor of Morons Cube. Creep and Brandon doing a great job at spreading the damage across all their panels. In fact, Brandon's back left half fully intact still at this moment in the game with 8:20 to go.
Yeah, John, but Creep now has an exposed core toward the front there. Some of that plating starting to fall down to 51% on the core.
Creep will have to be aware of that positioning. He wants to spread that damage across. Now down to 49, but Cyclone taking damage as well with that core exposed down to 65 for that core health. It is so close between both. You see Cyclone taking too much damage, and he will fall down now as well. It is now a 2v1. Origami's the last man standing for Terrapins. It is all on his shoulders to try to make this a 3-game series. It is an uphill battle. He will use those tanks, though, on the ground for some shielding as well. Creep taking more damage. Origami committing to that damage. Creep is trying to run away. Origami being chased down quickly by Brandon. Creep, 1 health hit point away, will rotate around. He's still alive. Origami's core still intact as of right now, but Creep 1 hit away. Brandon just laying into Origami. He is trying to run away. The positioning is absolutely fantastic for Brandon to continue to pelt Origami, using that building now as shelter. Creep rotating around the other side. Origami's in trouble. A little bit of a stalemate with lasers. There is a cooling aspect of these weapons. They have to cool down. Origami's in trouble. That core is now down, and it is going to be a clean 2-0. Somehow Creep stayed alive, but nonetheless, Morons Cube take the 2-0 series win over the Terrorpins.
Yeah, big stuff there overall. Creep staying alive with that 1 HP point, John, is a huge difference maker. Able to lay down more and more damage. Those lasers coming out, taking cores out so quickly. In the end, the movement there from Creep ended up being the difference maker.
Absolutely, and using those buildings to your advantage for extra shelter, especially when your plates start to drop and you really have no other way of protecting your core, it really comes down to using those buildings for that extra damage. And we saw when it was down to that 2v1 for the Terrapins, they had to find different ways to kind of go around that side of the building. That flank move really paid off for them at the end, able to take them down and secure the 2-0 win.
Absolutely, and again, just big credit to Creep. They're staying alive with so little HP, but still able to lay down that damage was a huge, huge difference maker. Honestly, can't say it enough for Morons Cubed.
So Morons Cube will advance to the next round. They'll play the winner of our next match here at the world premiere event for Core Disruption. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back with the second matchup here at the University of Maryland.
There's a built-in voice chat. Okay, did that get it? This is not your account.
I can't nose hack the index.
Okay. Are you on Do Not Disturb?
Okay. Are we in?
Okay, you're good to go. The folder. Double click that.
The FOV for this is a bit outside my language, but
You're gonna take over real quick.
it's just like a really